Yeah, Leash Da Beaast. How y'all feeling out there? We on the season. Check here, check on. Rent and bills, all it gets spent on. Damn, that's all my bread been for. Shit, how the fuck I'ma make more? Baby girl getting older and she need new shoes and she need new clothes. What the fuck I'ma do? My number ain't come out, my parlay screw. My savings about to run out and I might too. Never been a scammer, never held a hammer. Never did a crime, did time in a slammer. Did what I was told, so excuse my manners. But don't ask me for shit, cause the rent due. Biting on my tongue, cause the rent due. Can't say what I want, cause the rent due. I had air for lunch. They don't give two fucks what I've been through. Why? Cause the rent due. The first of the month make me mental. Why? That's what the rent do. Don't ask me for shit, cause the rent due. Biting on my tongue, cause the rent due. Can't say what I want, cause the rent due. I had air for lunch. They don't give two fucks what I've been through. Cause the rent due, the first of the month make me mental. That's what the rent do. La, 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 la. Yeah, wait. It'll work out, it will be fine. Riches coming in due time. It'll work out, it will be fine. Riches coming in due time. Nauseous to the struggle, man, I'm so sick. And if I could, I would just pack up my shit. Exit stage left and leave no trace. Vamoose on the loose, on my way, not haunted by opportunities I done miss. Baby girl getting older and she need new shoes and she need new clothes. What the fuck I'ma do? My number ain't come out, my parlay screw. My savings about to run out and I might too. Never been a scammer, never held a hammer. Never did a crime, did time in a slammer. Did what I was told, so excuse my manners. But don't ask me for shit, cause the rent due. Biting on my tongue, cause the rent due. Can't say what I want, cause the rent due. I had air for lunch. They don't give two fucks what I've been through. Cause the rent due, the first of the month make me mental. That's what the rent do. Don't ask me for shit, cause the rent due. Biting on my tongue, cause the rent due. Can't say what I want, cause the rent due. I had air for lunch. They don't give two fucks what I've been through. Cause the rent due, the first of the month make me mental. That's what the rent do. I know shit is hard out there, trust me, I know. I'm going through it too, but listen. This shit ain't gonna last long, you heard? This too shall pass. Alright? Don't ask me for shit, cause the rent due. Biting on my tongue, cause the rent due. Can't say what I want, cause the rent due. I had air for lunch. They don't give two fucks what I've been through. Cause the rent due, the first of the month make me mental. That's what the rent do. Damn. That's what the rent do. Yeah. That's what the rent do. Wait. That's what the rent do. It'll work out, it will be fine. Riches coming in due time. I say.
Wow, so the story about that. What the hell was that?
It's a ghost.
That's my Uncle Benny. Uncle, relax, we filming. Benny up here showing, acting the fool, man. Yeah.
Yeah, Leash Da Beaast. How y'all feeling out there? We on the season.
Shout out to my Uncle Unique, goes by Big U, Dow Jones. I grew up in hip hop. My dad used to rap, my uncles rapped, their friends rapped, so I used to see this a lot in the 90s growing up. I had no idea that I would even be a part of that. I feel like it was embedded in me from birth because of my dad. And he used to play a lot of old school music around me, so that started my love for music, where, you know, I got into production, which is how I started. I love Rakim. Queen Latifah's a huge influence on me. Missy Elliott, a huge influence on me. Like, I'm talking about people that I grew up with, like, cause I'm an 80s baby, but I'm a 90s kid. Like, the Brand, you know, like all the Snoop, Nas, Biggie, of course. I'm a Brooklyn native. I know Give Me the Loot like it's the national anthem. Jay-Z, definitely love his calm swag. I feel like I kind of embody Jay a little bit more, like when it comes to my stage presence. The calmness with smoothness, like you still keeping the cadence and still keeping your breath and all that. Erykah Badu, Lauryn Hill, for sure. Because I do get a lot of, you remind me of Lauryn Hill. The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, classic. Love that album.
I noticed you got a thing for Geminis.
No problem. I've been in music 20 plus years now, so I have a lot of stories. When it comes to my best moment in music, definitely me creating 1111 Ashe. When I was feeling at my lowest, I wanted to bring up not only myself, but others that were going through that as well. That's when I really started tapping into my spirituality and manifestations and learning about different frequencies and things like that. So from there, that's when I really experimented and created that album. When I filmed the video for BBQ's Beautiful Black Queen, and I had all of the women in my family together. I bought wine, champagne. They wanted to open that wine so bad. I'm like, can we get some shots done, please, before we start from drinking? So it was like, yo, they kept asking every second, yo, you gonna open it? I'm like, just open it. But the video came out amazing. I loved the part when we were sitting at the table together and, I was performing the song. I loved going to my cousin's crib. I filmed my Aunt Clarice, who's in the background. Shout out to her. Cousin Nisha, shout out Big Niche. You know what I mean? That's my sis right there. Catching all the women that are really close to me and my family. That was one of the biggest highlights. And I still love that song to this day. That song has resonated so much where it's traveled out to Africa. In 2022, I got evicted. I was between my parents-in-law with my wife and my parents, so Queens and Jersey City. And I had a job in Manhattan. So I was super stressed, saving up, getting another spot. I happened to watch a show that my music was placed on, and I had very mixed feelings because I'm like, here I am, assed out, nothing in my bank account right now, well, until the next check hit. But I don't have a place of my own, and yet I can hear my music on TV. It was definitely more difficult to make music without having a home of my own. I remember I used to have a 30-minute break at work, and I worked overnight. I would bring my equipment with me and just use those 30 minutes. Sometimes I wouldn't even eat. I would just eat music. Shout out to Ray, that's my Aunt Tanya's ex-boyfriend. At the time, I had to be about 15, 16. That's when I started producing. He was a producer too at the time. When he would come over to the crib, I used to get really excited to play my new beats for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was super green when it came to production. I was just starting, so I was just super excited. And every time he played it, he would just get mad hype, like, oh, Unleash! Like, he just started yelling Unleash. And at the time, I had a different name. I'm kind of embarrassed to say it. I'm gonna say it anyway, for my people on the season. I started out as Shorty Doo-Wop. That name is so 80s, make you want to pop lock and shit, like, that wasn't it. That wasn't it for no 15, 16-year-old producer. That wasn't it. So when he kept saying Unleash, I was like, there it is, Unleash. I'm gonna go by that. And the way I used to spell it was capital U, lowercase n, and then leash, like in capital. People called me Unleash or Unleash Music. That was my production moniker. The whole vision I had was whoever that became part of Beast, which stands for Be Everyone's Aspiration and Stay True. Whoever became a part of it, they would end their name with that name. Because I was thinking about, ASAP Mob. I'd have ASAP Rocky, ASAP Ferg, ASAP Nast. So that was my vision. So instead of having it in the beginning, it would be at the end. Don't let the outside noise stop you from going for what you truly want. Because a lot of times, we are our worst critics, but when we hear other critics on the outside, it discourages you from going forward with your dreams. Keep going, regardless of the circumstances of what they're going through at that time. It's not going to last. This too shall pass. Bars. Pay it forward. Be a light, not necessarily a shadow. Be a light for others, even when you feel darkness amongst yourself. I feel like when you're a light for others, it brightens your light for you. Ever since I was younger, I feel like I was kind of vetted for it. Shout out to my older sister, because she always had health issues with diabetes. A lot of times her sugar would get low, and there's times that I was the only one home, and if I didn't get to her, she could have passed. I've just always wanted to be helpful. I became the oldest at like 11. I had to pretty much take care of my brother and sister while my parents were at work, and worry about school, and worry about my sister on the streets. Years and years into this. Practice, trial and error. Shout out to YouTube, very helpful. Definitely getting in tune with my spirituality, learning more about frequencies, learning more about psychology of people, You know, how people's minds work, what makes them excited, anticipating their needs, brought my music to the next level. Also, taking the time to develop my own sound, that takes years too. That's not gonna happen overnight. I went through phases. My Dr. Dre phase, my Lil Jon phase, where all my beats sound like these shit, okay? I would rip sounds out of songs. Like if there was a point there was no vocal, no instrument, and then it was just like a clean clap or a clean kick, I would rip that shit. Niggas ain't got no love for the craft. Very few do. Shout out to Tyler, the Creator. Shout out to Kendrick Lamar. You know what I'm saying? Doechii. Like those are people that really love the music. Those are people that really have a love for the craft. This ain't no microwave ass shit. This is crock pot, oven, on the stove top type shit. This is that type of gift, that type of talent that I'm giving. Music on the way. These hoodies, Guns N' Roses 2.0, because it has the diamonds. I definitely need y'all to tap in and get these. I also have the matching hats, the jewels as well. Get those. Definitely have more coming. We have a single coming out together, which is the Omnivert remix. Follow me on Instagram, Beast on the Beat, BeAASTONTHE Follow my page, Beast Apparel, BeAASTAPPAREL. DM me for any orders that you guys may have. I am working on the website currently, so by the time this comes out, most likely I'll have a website. Search me on any DSPs. I need y'all to tap in with all of my music, specifically Rent Due, in which I just performed for you guys, and also the original Omnivert. Tap in with that so y'all be ready for that remix.
Don't ask me for shit, cause the rent due biting on my tongue.